stabbed. That's how the good citizens of King's Abbot got their first taste of hell. A Tunisian dagger, a piece of tourist junk, sticking right out of Roger Ackroyd's neck. Nasty, clean, like a joke with a hell of a punchline. Now, me, I'm the narrator, the one holding the pen, writing it all down. But you gotta understand something about the Sheppard. He's the wolf, who gets paid to count the sheep. I told the police Ackroyd died at 10 o'clock, but I knew that was bullshit. I was his alibi. I was also his murderer. See, the real money shot, the prequel, was Mrs. Farrar's. She poisoned her husband, and Ackroyd, he loved her enough to forgive that sin. But I knew the truth too. Blackmail. A cool 20,000 quid for keeping my mouth shut. Then she killed herself, but not before sending Ackroyd a letter naming the vulture, me. I saw him with that blue envelope in his hand. He was going to read it. My life, my respectable little practice, gone. So when I left, I ran like a scalded dog, snuck back through that window he was so nervous about. No time for chat, just the dagger. A real shame about the letter though. It vanished with the body. But here's the genius. My alibi was already set. A telephone call. I used the time between leaving the house and walking the 5-minute journey to the gates to kill him. Then I got a stooge to call me from the station, pretending to be the butler. Ackroyd's been murdered, doctor. Come at once. That gave me the perfect excuse to rush back and be the finder of the body. My hands were clean. I needed one thing. The dictaphone I fixed for him. At 9:30, it played a recording of his voice, making everyone believe he was still alive. It was the best kind of lie. A recorded one. I removed the thing and tucked it away. I even wrote a whole manuscript about the investigation, painting myself as the innocent Dr. Watson. Ha, but a funny thing about a secret like that, it never stays buried for long. Then the little Belgian showed up. Hercule Poirot. Egg-shaped head, big mustache. Brain like a tiny lethal clockwork puzzle. He didn't want the what or the who. He wanted the why. And he hated my story. Called my 10-minute walk near the gate a discrepancy. He saw the whole beautiful machine of my alibi for the cheap parlor trick it was. But the most damning evidence was the document I wrote myself. He was reading my every thought. He knew I was the man in the blue envelope. He knew I was the blackmailing son of a bitch. And he knew I killed Ackroyd to save my skin. Now, he's giving me one choice. The quick, clean way out. No trial. No shame for my sister. Just the final fade to black. And I accept, because the truth, Monsieur Poirot, is beautiful, and the one who seeks it is the killer. That machine. I bought it from a bright-eyed boy a week before. Nothing is accidental, you understand. Those footprints the inspector loved so much, I made them myself, twice. Once in, once out. Artful, isn't it? My sister Caroline. She sits at home, and the truth just comes to her. A mongoose rampant, that one. She was the one thing I couldn't control. The funny thing about poisons. Gastritis, arsenic, veronal. All just tools. One wrong dosage, and the story changes. I kept a stock of everything. That woman was massaged, so I massaged her back with a little pen and paper. A cool 20,000 to keep the good doctor happy. Just the dagger. Nasty. Clean. And then the silence. Ackroyd was sitting as I had left him, except for the dagger and the silence. A nice clean job. The little chair. The one Parker saw. You need to keep up appearances. Hide the obvious, and they'll never look for the subtle. The heroic return. breaking down the locked door. The only thing I couldn't clean was the final messy touch, the truth of the broken lock. Parker, the perfect stooge, too busy wiping his sweaty face to notice the hand that truly did the damage. My hands were clean after all. That little man, he didn't miss a thing. The chair, the phone call, the bloody shoes. He put it all in its appointed place. Method and order, my ass. The dagger was not there when the lid was closed. Why? Logic demands an answer, mon docteur. And you are the only variable. Discrepancy in time, 10 minutes. I took 10 minutes for a 5-minute walk. That's how he knew. The bastard knew. I know the whole truth, mon docteur. The game is over. 5 a.m. I am very tired, but I have finished my task. A strange end to my manuscript. What shall it be? Veronal. There would be a kind of poetic justice. I can trust him. No trial, no shame for my sister. He will never know the truth. My death will be a grief to her, but grief passes. I meant it to be published someday as the history of one of Poirot's failures. Odd how things pan out. When I have finished writing, I shall enclose this whole manuscript in an envelope and address it to Poirot. And then, the truth, Monsieur le Docteur, is never a secret to Hercule Poirot.
Gone.